We've got the dynamic and exciting Dr. Gary Wohlman with us today, live at one of our events. Let's find out exactly what he does. Good morning, Dr. Gary.
Good morning, Gary. Good to see you this morning.
How are you today?
Bright and bushy-tailed right after a great swim and stretch at the sauna. I'm all ready to speak to whoever's listening here today.
Fantastic. Well, for our viewer right now, exactly what is it that you do?
In fewer words or less?
Please.
Yes, exactly. I take people's verbal words, vocal sounds, and visual delivery and create a synergy so that people are showing what they're telling. So the message is conveyed on more levels of meaning than simply the cerebral words or sounds themselves. So it makes more sense. That's the essence of what I do.
Fantastic. So when somebody participates in one of your programs, what do they walk away and do immediately?
They immediately have different guidelines to be able to reframe their self-talk. Something like, I am creative, I'm inspiring, and I'm transformational. And they take those three gestures and words, whatever their words are, and bring that into everything they have to think, say, or do. So it shifts their ability to be compelling in their telling.
So how important is language?
A very good question. The inner language, the inner self-talk is the most important thing before any words are spoken outwardly. And then when words are spoken outwardly, if they match what the hands are saying, what the eyes are saying, what the breath and tone is saying, then the words are carried like a ship to the source, to the destination. Words by themselves lose it. It has to be combined with a multisensory approach to help people retain the message and for the speaker to reach people on many more levels of meaning.
Excellent. For our viewer right now, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is an entrepreneur, a CEO, a rock star performer, someone who's developing as a leader, a person of influence in their industry, someone who has their message, but they haven't quite brought their voice out into the world as they've yet dreamed possible. I have tools and guides to be able to show them to do that.
That's awesome. So what happens when somebody's inhibited and is not able to express themselves to their full potential?
I turn it into a Monty Python moment to exaggerate that fully so they can take that not being able to express themselves in their full potential, turn themselves into a little seed, holding tight or having a group of people in the audience, if it's a group, hold them in until they can't bear it anymore. They bust free, they break free, and they'll say hello to the past no more. That's what it takes often, is to exaggerate an old moment to reframe it with new memory of how it feels, sounds, and looks. That's a very powerful tool for people.
That's very exciting. Give us an example, without necessarily naming a name, of a person who came in and then was able to be transformed through your program. What transpired as a result? Give us a few examples.
I'm just thinking of one as you speak with me
Yep.
right now. It was an international hypnotist and a speaker in New Zealand a number of years ago when I was just getting started on this work, about 25 years ago, 1990 actually. And this man responded to my calling. He had a Yellow Pages ad which said that he was an international speaker and hypnotist. I thought in some of the seminars I was just beginning to teach back then, he's either going to be full of himself or perhaps he's open to more learning. I came into his seminar in a room very much like this, and he was shouting to his audience. "Why are you shouting, Brian?" I said. And he thought about it for a moment. And then tears came to his eyes, and he said, "I was never heard by my father. All these years," and this is a senior man, "I have not been feeling that my father listened to me, so I've been shouting to be heard with audiences." From that moment, his voice became softer, more tender, and it shifted his whole ability to speak. It just took moments. We replayed the moment, what happened in the past, and had a new ending. So it becomes the new default program in people's muscle memory. So that's what people return to instead of trying to become a great speaker. They remember when they're able to be at that greatest connection in their body, in their movement, in their sounds, and in their connection with the audience. The relationship with the audience is the most important thing.
I just love the way you connect with the audience right now.
Oh, they're looking.
They're looking at us.
Matter of fact, keep breathing. You in the back. I know you're with us today, but come a little bit closer. Thank you.
Just out of interest, for our viewer right now, you're a doctor, Dr. Gary. So what are you a doctor in?
This is a PhD doctor. I'm a doctor in transpersonal psychology and expressive arts therapy for a body therapy practice that I developed over 45 years ago, a method I've developed in stretching the muscles and speaking in rhyme. And it took me 4 years to do this study, where I found out after 4 years that it's a combination, same with the presentation coaching, of breath, sound, visualization, stretching, and rhyme that creates a multi-sensory encodement of the new message, the new self-talk in the muscle memory. So people then come from this new strengthened mission statement from that point on. So that's what the PhD thesis was about, studying why my method was so effective. It's because of the multi-sensory, reaching people on many senses simultaneously. It took me 4 years to find that out.
You're brilliant. Tell me, or for our viewer more importantly, you've created a thing called the grid system. Tell us a bit about the grid system.
The grid system, as you can see from this, I've created a system which you'll see in just a moment here, this overlay. Look at this slide coming on the screen. Yep. This is a 3x3, as you can see, like noughts and crosses series of squares. And each of these squares has a certain meaning. Look at it. When we think about the past, present, and future, we know that the past is on the opposite side of the future, whether it's left to right, right to left, back to front. As long as the speaker is consistent in moving to the left when they're talking about the past, let's say, and to the right when they're talking about the future, the audience then becomes trained to know, oh, he's moving to the, therefore he's remembering to speak about there's the front field when I speak with people. What am I doing with my neck and my voice? The real secret to this speaking is, so confiding, we all confide in a similar way, we humans. So I've made the zone of the front square called confide. This grid system has different zones. So when people tell a story or inhabit that zone, a different quality of movement, of sound, of words, of stances, all take place. So the grid system is a simple method to help people, Gary, walk their talk, literally to walk their talk. So they're making consistent movement patterns that trains the audience and themselves to know exactly what they're going to say before they say it. The audience remembers the message greater. The presenter doesn't have to think about the message because they're walking, they're choreographing their communication. It's a very powerful, whimsical tool of moving through space.
That's absolutely brilliant. So as we bring this little interview to a conclusion, what would you like the viewer to do right now? If he or she is excited by what they're hearing from you, what's the next step? If they want to transform, renew, equip, and empower their lives, what do they do next?
The first thing I would do next, if I were you, before you even think about reaching me, is to reach yourself first. It's always about reaching yourself first. Think of 3 key words that match your essence of who you are before you say a word. For me, I said I'm creative, I'm inspiring, I'm transformational. Pick any 3 key words that are in the zone. They don't have to be the exact words. Go to the mirror and see what gestures match it. For me, creative, inspiring, transformational. Then include those 3 gestures in what you're speaking about in front of audience. Notice how that becomes a natural part of choreographing your communication so people get your message more. Then call me. Give me a call and I'll give you a complimentary half-hour session on Skype. I'll take you through this to the next level of being able to impact and affect people with your message on many more levels than you ever thought possible. We can do that through Skype. Elijah Gary is my Skype name. One of the other ways you can reach me is in the next image you'll see on the screen are my contact details, the website, the Facebook page, and here there's many of complimentary videos and inspirational content to help you reach people on all stages of your life.
Congratulations.
Great to have this
Make
done.
sure you contact Dr. Gary, and as Dr. Gary would say, connect with yourself first.
It's always the first time. Thank you.